This is Doom Society, a presentation of profaneexistence.org. I'm your host, Damien, inbred.
Victory! welcome to Doomed Society, your third or fourth favorite podcast on the internet. I'm sure there's a lot of really good ones out there that are a lot better than mine. Anyways, I am Damien Inbred, as you probably know by now. This is the 8th installment of my series of podcasts and mumble-jumbo ramblings, distortion and death and destruction and chaos and anarchy and all that good shit. So, 40 seconds in, I'm making no sense once again. It must be a Sunday morning, and I must have been drinking coffee all night and all day. So we started off that first set with the almighty Disclose with a little track called Future Extinction. Then we went into World Burns to Death with A Grim Task Ahead. Hellshock was up next with Ghosts of the Past. After them we had After the Bombs, rest in peace, with a song called Condemned. And we finished off with a new one from Iskra, Wolf of Winter, even though it's the summer. I just that wild and crazy. We are going to go all the way to Israel for a few seconds, starting off this next set with a hardcore band called Dear Yassin and a song called Salvation at the End of the Barrel of a Gun. Here you go. What's up? That was After the Massacre, another band that no longer exists, featuring, well, this is for all you PE board aficionados, featuring Mikey McMurder on the old guitar. That was a song called Future Discarded, off their only LP. For them we had Anti-C-Max with War Machine. For them we had the almighty Lebedin Toten from Portland, of course, with Nuclear Flowers. For them we had Visions of War with Bomb to Shit. And we started things off, of course, with Dear Yassine, Salvation at the End of the Barrel of a Gun. We're going to switch directions a little bit and go in a more up the motherfucking punks direction with this next set, which is going to start off with the wonderful, almighty, abrasive Wheels. Here's Vicious Circle. Look out.
Working through, signing out, get the schemes, 'cause I don't know.
fuck punks, yeah. Sorry. That was the Homewreckers from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, a little city which is about 2 hours north of my little abode, and they just happen to have the best punk scene in the prairies. Kind of jealous. But that was the Homewreckers with Better Off Dead. Before them, we had a band from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, my hometown, born and raised. Probably the best band in Calgary, or at least according to my scene report in Maximum Rock and Roll that I wrote a couple of months ago. The Spastic Panthers with a song off their first EP, and that was called Stand Strong. For them, we had Androphobia, one of my favorite bands that I'm rocking right now, with Fucking System Go to Hell. And before them, we had the Menstrual Tramps from the Twin Cities. They're another really killer band that I dig quite a bit. There's a song called History Repeats. And of course, we started things off with the legendary Abrasive Wheels with a classic track called Vicious Circle. We're getting close to, well, no, I think we're about the halfway point, maybe just a bit past. I'm not really paying attention, let me tell you. But we have another set left, another set in a bit. So, I'm going to go a little bit back into the crust core for you. Here is a newer band who plays in the style, of course, of Extreme Noise Terror and all those good killer classic bands. This is Crush. That's Crush with a K. And here's a song called Slaves to the Grind. This is dedicated to all you working class schlubs and anyone who has to work ever at a job you hate. That's right. Slaves to the Grind. Here you go. Crush. Row!
We're fucking woman, God, shoot him, who do you want?
Hey, I'm back. Okay, so that last set is the last full set of the show. It turns out, time constraints and all that good stuff, I've only really got an hour to spare here, so sorry. Started off with Crush with Slaves to the Grind. Then went into Man the Conveyors with Bite the Bullet. Sorry. Next up was Nuclear Death Terror with Police Funeral, which I don't know if you've seen the footage from the G20 protests in Toronto, but I would say that song is highly appropriate considering how the police acted towards the demonstrators and black blockers and accused black blockers and blah 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 blah. Typical police brutality, protecting the corporate and state interests and not democracy, free speech, or the people, as they so often claim that they like to do. So, Police Funeral, that's for the Toronto Police Department, the RCMP, CSIS, what the fuck, police forces all around the world. I will piss on your graves. Next up was Extreme Noise Terror with Human Error. And then Massgrave from Vancouver with Mainstream of Shit. And that is enough for me on this episode of Doom Society Radio on profaneexistence.org. So, what the fuck? Here's Chumbawamba with Torturing James Hetfield. This one's for you, buddy. Love ya. Bye-bye.
Well, we got James Hetfield, and we tied him up tight, naked and cold. We kept the strip lights bright. Said, what have you got for us, James? He said nothing at all. So we dragged some speakers in from the hall. James, 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 just give us names, names, names. James, James, James. Well, we tried every tune in the songbook to loosen his tongue. We played Simply Red non-stop. He just swayed along. Then we had an idea, a new plan of attack. We thought that even a deaf man would bend and crack. James, 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 just give us names, names, names. James, James, James. Now look what we brought for you, James. Your favorite disc. It's Chumbawamba, their greatest hits. There's only one. Turned up the volume. You should have heard him sing. Oh, how he sing. He cried like a baby and told us everything. It was Lars. James, 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 just give us names, names, names. James, James, James.
Each year they gather, warmongering companies, while children's limbs are torn from their bodies. The only death you'll hear about is the English squatty. You've seen the pictures, murder and violence, arms trade in your city of silence. The trading of death should inflame your defiance. How many people are you gonna kill now? The money you make with the weapons you sell, the suckers of death with the government clowns. How many people are you gonna kill now? The money you made and the weapons you sell, dropping dirty bombs, Armageddon now. The lines of police treating us like scum. Inside the hall, they're selling tanks and gun. Anarchists, axe and fists, spoiling their fun. Behind the suits, the handshakes and smiles. Lies of business so horrific and vile. Once again, protesters are the ones that are on trial. How many people are you gonna kill now? The money you made and the weapons you sell, the suckers of death for the government clowns. How many people are you gonna kill now? The money you made and the weapons you sell, you're dropping dirty bombs, Armageddon now. Weapons for money, millions devoured. Weapons for murder, the glory, the power. Weapons for profit, the government dictates. Weapons to rule us, weapons to rule us. How many people are you gonna kill now? The money you made and the weapons you sell, the suckers of death for the government clowns. How many people are you gonna kill now? The money you made with the weapons you sell, dropping dirty bombs.
So, I have been watching the healthcare debates, not debates really, the yellings, the healthcare yellings, and I've really learned a lot about myself watching the town hall meetings and the Tea Party parades and the retardathon walker things, and I'm kind of enjoying it more than I expected to, because I like most people, I'm a big fan of misspelled, grammatically incorrect hyperbole. I love it, and I think up until maybe 5-6 years ago, I would have been more outraged and like, this is terrible, this is awful, these people are crazy, and like, what's going on here? But I realize now that I'm 45 and I've accrued enough experience, like, oh, wait a minute, this always happens all the time. America has a proud, rich tradition of voting against its own best interest. And why should it stop now? Why should it stop now? Anyway, so I'm watching these guys, these just purposefully misinformed people believe, just their crazy shit that they believe. Like, Obama's a Nazi. He wants health care for everybody. He's a Nazi. He's a Muslim. He's a communist, socialist, black Muslim Nazi. It's the worst kind of Nazi there is. That's the most dangerous, sneaky Nazi, I think. He's a zombie too. I think he's a zombie. And they're just yelling and screaming. They're completely misinformed and disrupting things, and they're bringing loaded weapons just in case. And I'm watching these people, and I've done my bit for to get a public option. I think it's important. I think it's smart. And but I'm watching these people. The more I watch them, I'm thinking, well, wait a second. You know what? I don't want you to have health care. I want you to die. Yeah. I want less of you and more of me.
This has been Doom Society on profaneexistence.org. See you in a couple of weeks, sucker.